Welcome to the South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Salkowski, Dustin Hassan, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Michael Germanuelian.
Good evening, South Texas Amateur Golf Tour. Welcome to the Tour Power Hour. I am, and always have been, and more than likely always will be, your host, MD, Mike Germanuelian. Thank you for joining us. It is Tuesday night. It is 8:01. It is August the 1st. We are already in August. We are halfway through the summer season. We are already getting a calendar ready for 2024. We are preparing for South Texas Match Play Challenge. The next 8 weeks, 10 weeks are going to be crazy busy. We got lots to talk about. Before we dive into all of that good stuff, let's go ahead and bring out Travis Salkowski. What up, Trav?
What up, MD? It's Tuesday night. It is August. Oh my goodness. The middle of the summer in South Texas is flipping hot. It's just hot.
I went and looked at the weather report, and it's just like 103, 103, 103, 103 every day.
I was in my neighborhood this afternoon, and my truck said 106.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my goodness. And I saw Vince Callender, Tour Travels guest, make a Facebook post today that his truck said $120. Yeah.
I mean, I told you this morning when I was driving away from Lost Pines, I had like 108. That was at 5 o'clock.
I mean, it was definitely hot. It was definitely hot.
Yeah.
We played golf in the afternoon on Sunday, and it was hot. I came home. I still am eating the same watermelon. Love watermelon. But yeah, it's hot. So, I mean, that's definitely on the list to talk about tonight. Preparing for a golf tournament in the heat is on the list because we have a couple more summer season events open for registration, including one that closes tomorrow, MD.
Yes, closing tomorrow. Back to Brack. We are playing an individual stroke play event at Brack for the first time in what feels like, I think, maybe the entire season. I think we've played there a couple of times, but it's been two-person events. Individual stroke play. That's going to be really, really great for Brack. We're at 130 some signups. So there's still some time to get signed up and still a couple of spots remaining.
Yeah, just a few single digits, I think, for sure, remaining. Yep. You are correct. This is the first stroke play event at Brack in the 2023 calendar season. So excited to go to Brack for a one-day event. And then we'll be back at Brack middle of October for the Tour Championship next after this. So this is maybe a good test for the final couple rounds of the playoffs. See where you stack up against your flights. And Scotty Williams did some recon at Brackenridge Park yesterday.
Yep.
And I know he gave MD the 411 information on that. And says it's
Scotty
looking
called
good.
me last night. Scotty called me last night, and he was telling me, he's like, hey, man, the course is looking sharp. It's looking really good. He's like, whatever you think, whatever you remember from seeing it last time, he's like, it is a million times better. So we got a couple of pictures.
stxamtour.golf under the sign up now tab to sign up for Brackenridge Park individual stroke play this coming Sunday. Registration Registration closes tomorrow at 5 p.m. And I talked to the superintendent this morning, Robert Cano, and you could hear it in his voice that he was excited to tell me that Brack was good.
I think he was excited to send you the pictures.
Yes, and then he was super excited to tell me they're walk mowing Brackenridge Park greens now.
I'm gonna show a picture. If you guys know Travis, you know Travis loves filters. The golf courses he will take a picture of, they always look good, but they are filtered like a Kardashian to some extent. This is unfiltered, just pure Brack. Look at this. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, that's this morning at Brackenridge Park. Let's play a little bit of Guess This Hole for everybody who's watching right now. This is Brackenridge Park, of course. What hole is this? What hole are we looking at? Robert Cano, superintendent, took this photo this morning at Brackenridge Park while he was on the phone with me.
I mean,
Any guesses?
Just. I'm waiting to see if anyone wants to offer their guess here. Charles Clark coming in. Okay. Stephen Evans coming in.
Man. Okay. Well,
Charles Clark, thank you for jumping in. Dennis Danowski.
Dennis is now on the bandwagon. He's like, oh yeah, that is 10.
Yeah, it's for sure 10.
It took us a minute.
There was some internal discussion for us, yes.
Yes, because we initially thought it was 18 because the edge of that green looks so straight, and that is number 10 looking back towards 18 and the clubhouse.
Let's see if someone can tell us which hole this is. I think this one's tougher.
This one's tougher. A little bit later in the morning, Brackenridge Park this morning. Superintendent Robert Cano sent me this. This is after it has been mowed. It looks so good.
I got this one instantly, but it was more guess than anything. And then thinking about it, like two pictures in a row from angles I have never looked at it. That specific hole, like it threw me off. Charles Clark.
It is 16. Not 16. Good guess with the road. Stephen Evans says 13, but I think he was clipped in the timeline of the comment thread by Double D Dennis Danowski. That is 13, looking backwards down the fairway at 13 towards the tee box. That is 281 to the right there, and then 14 tee box just around the corner through the trees there.
Dennis has made an eagle there a time or two, so he loves this hole. I'm sure he just has this one burnt in his mind.
You know, that's a fun hole to play because it's either a 4 or a 7. You know,
yes.
You either do something really dumb over there in the trees, or it's, you know, a pretty good look at up and down for birdie there. I mean, that's a gotta get it hole in the tournament at Brackenridge Park on Sunday. You know.
Well, I mean, it's the weekend itself. I mean, it's so interesting to think about. We have two really cool. I mean, actually, I really like all three of our next individual stroke play events. Back to Brack. First time we're playing Brack in forever, it feels like, from an individual stroke play perspective. Everyone knows that golf course. It maybe hasn't seen as many, obviously, individual events. So it'll be interesting to see what the scores look like. I feel like we've got some low scores that are going to show up. Then I
think under par wins first flight.
Oh, I think under par has to win first flight.
I think a couple under par wins first flight. And I think there's going to be somebody
who's 5 under. I think a 5 under wins first champ flight. I'm going to say 2 under wins in first flight.
Oh, you think a 69 wins? 69 would be a first flight record. But I think so. I mean, 69.
I don't think so. I won with a 69 at Brack in first flight 2 years ago.
Maybe. Okay.
I don't think that's the record. I couldn't imagine that I'm the one who would hold it.
I mean, yeah, but I think you're right. I think 66 is close. In champ flight, and I think 70.
I think 75, 76 in second flight.
I think lower than that. I think 73 in second flight. I mean, it's such a big field, 130 players.
Well, it's
minimum
also Travis,
6 flights.
It's also Travis setting up a golf course versus MD setting up a golf course, so we'll see what scoring how that all
we'll
looks
see
too.
what the setup committee does at Brackridge Park for this tour event. We'll see. Brack's a little shorter, but going back to your comment about the end of the season rotation, it's solid. Like it's solid.
Brack,
There's a lot. Yes.
Then we go to Willow, which we haven't seen Willow in a year.
And I can only imagine that the setup committee at Willow is going to be like, this is our only time at Willow. Let's show what Willow's got.
I am looking forward to setting up Willow. And then our final individual stroke play before we go into the end of the season events. Individual stroke play at Cedar.
I know.
And that is going to be hilariously amazing.
So
that course will...
No. You're exactly right. So Brackenridge Park registration closes tomorrow. Willow Springs on Sunday, August 20th, open for registration. In the newsletter this week, Mission Del Lago, 2-person best ball, the last partner event of the season, is going to open for registration, and it's going to sell out fast. It's a small field. It's only 120 players. It's the last partner event of the year. Double points before going into the home stretch. It's going to sell out fast.
Yep.
And then we go stroke play single day at Cedar. Wow. Amazing.
Love that.
And then we go 36-hole PC Open, the battle for the green jacket at Olmos Basin. And then we go Northern Brack for the playoff run. I just think there's so much stroke play left. It's so amazing.
It's a lot of stroke play, but it's also a lot of places. Every single place that we have a stroke play event this season, pretty much starting this week, we haven't had a stroke play event there in months, if not a year. Stroke play at Brack, we haven't seen that in forever. Stroke play back to Willow. Stroke play at Cedar, we haven't seen in forever. And then we haven't played almost in a hot minute too. We played a stroke play event at almost earlier in the spring season. I remember Jolly Shackelford wiping the floor. Yeah, I played with Jolly Shackelford.
Did whoop up everybody.
I was watching him hit from the friggin' senior tees and go driver putter on every hole. So I remember that round vividly. But a bunch of courses that we haven't had individual stroke play out on in a while. All things are going to be real testers, and it's this is our halfway.
9 of the last 10 events on the 2023 tour season. 9 of the last 10 rounds. I'm sorry. 9 of the next 10 rounds, which would be the last, are stroke play. Only one round is partner.
And
this is what it's about.
That's what it's supposed to be.
This is where the word tour comes from in the in the thought process. I mean, this is it.
Yeah. We're at that point, we get through the first couple of events of the season, of the summer season. We have, two different team events to kind of get us kind of started. A chance to get some points, kind of start establishing a little bit of that top 10 list. But now it is all about the individual golfer, the resiliency of that individual golfer, the preparation of that individual golfer, and the actual follow through of that individual golfer.
I mean, as long as we're talking about the schedule and the stroke play events coming up, will you pull up the top 10 list quick?
Yeah. This has not been. It doesn't have. The points are correct. It does not have them. It does not have Cedar on the list though. But the points are. But
correct. The point total, I just hit one too many columns. Yeah. So the point total is correct. That is through 4 events, and the team event at Cedar is just hidden there. But take a peek at that. The entire top 10 separated by, what is that, 75 points?
65 points. 75 points.
Yeah, 75 points. The next event, standard stroke play, the Willow Springs event, double points. That's 3 places in one flight. That's it. 3 places in one flight at the Willow tournament. could completely flip the top 10 upside down.
Like that's why Brack is going to be so critical to play well, especially for the people in the top 10 to have a good finish, but then to carry that into Willow, where people are going to have a chance here to either maintain their lead or they're going to be fighting to defend it. Not having seen Willow in a hot minute, I think that's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be a challenge across every flight for the most part, just because no one has seen Willow in so long and knows what to kind of anticipate.
I agree completely. It's so close, and so many stroke play events. I mean, this is going to change multiple times in the next 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be. I think it's going to be one of those things. Like, I think if we go back and look at some previous seasons, and normally you have to win normally 3 events. You have to win 3 or 4 events a season to be in the top 10 at the end of it, and to be near that top spot. You need to be winning 3 or 4 events, and you need to be finishing, in the top 3 of every event. Essentially,
your gift card. Yeah, gift card's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Gift carding in your flight down the stretch is gaining on the field, right? So if anybody asks me what that strategy was for acquiring points, I mean, yes, bonus points are everything, right? But getting gift card,
and I think getting that top 3, but I also think. You and I touched on it this weekend. I think we were sitting there in the cart and just kind of talking about one of the things that most people maybe aren't doing is just kind of setting the right expectations. And it's one of those things you want to finish in the top 3. That is always the goal. But how many you'll have this maybe a little bit more off the top of your head than I do. But how many players have we seen this season? How many unique golfers have we added this year?
Give me a second, and I can tell you.
Regardless, it's we've seen 200 plus golfers.
Yeah, I think it's 300. I think.
And I kind of figured it was sitting in that 300 range. But let's let's do the math here. Let's just say it is 300 golfers. Right?
245.
Okay,
245 unique golfers through the first 4 events of the summer season.
Yeah, so that gives you just a 0.024% chance of making the team in the summer or spring season.
Yes, that's fantastic.
That's what it comes down to. Manage the expectation. Like, we are all trying to play our best golf. Don't try to, don't make unforced errors. Don't make errors because you think that you need to finish in the top 3. Your goal really is to go out, try and win tournaments, finish in the best position you can, earn your points. If you're somehow in the top 3 at the end of the dance, great. If you're not, you're fighting for positioning into the playoffs, and that's where the real golf is going to get played.
Right, and that's something we haven't talked about in a minute. Is you hit it right on the head. The top 3 is the goal, right? The top 3 in the point standings automatically qualify for the South Texas Match Play Challenge team, right? But MD hit it right on the head. Continue to play, continue to grind, because every place in the regular season equals another point to start the playoffs with.
Yeah.
So and that point could be life or death. That point could be the cut line in the second round versus winning in the third round.
And we even get so deep into it. I mean, we were talking about it. I hate to use Casey as an example. I don't think he's watching, so I don't feel as bad to say it. But Casey got knocked out. Casey missed going to the 4th round by half a point.
And fun fact, number 72. No, number 71 in the playoffs last year made it on the team. They made it on the bubble and then went net win, made the team.
And that's usually what ends up happening is that there's always that person who gets in because they won a major, or they had enough points or a special invite to get in, and then they run the tables, and that is something that we always kind of anticipate and expect.
Yes, yeah. That's the major winner gets an invite, right? Name on the jacket gets invited to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point it's one of those things. Be aware of where you're at in the point standings. Understand the events that are going to be the most meaningful to you. If you can't play every event, that happens. Be there for double points. Be there for the big point events.
Everybody on that top 10 playing really good. But you know who's playing really, really good on that top 10 is number 10, Dustin Weldon. I think he is playing some of the best golf. Dakota Elbers is playing great golf. I'm not going to take anything away from our host on the podcast, Mike Dermanuelian, in a top 10 graphic for the first time in a minute. That's amazing. You're striking the ball well. Trace Davis is on that graphic. No surprise to see Willie Nichols on that graphic. He's been playing well all season.
You got Jason Bird sneaking in there at 11. He's playing good right now.
Brad Gilbert playing good. Trace is a practiceaholic now. Charles Clark, back-to-back wins in the middle of the summer season. Back-to-back stroke play wins. I mean, that sets him up good for this stroke play down the stretch segment that we're coming into. 9 of the next 10 rounds on tour are individual stroke play rounds. I mean, that's amazing.
Yep. And this is, the other piece of it too is, and we'll talk more about the heat stress thing of it too, is, part of what makes this season, I think, even more challenging than we've had previous years, even with the talent, even with the amount of golfers. I think the people that are able to, I don't want to say build up the tolerance or the endurance in the heat, but like the people that know how to manage themselves out in this weather during the tournaments are the ones who are winning these as well.
So we played on Sunday, and we teed off at 1:00 in the afternoon, and it was 1:04 when we teed off, and it was hot. And I called MD on the drive home from the golf course, and I said, hey, we need to continue stressing and advertising awareness to everybody that plays on tour. You can never drink enough. You can never consume enough water or Gatorade or liquid IV or whatever. Whatever. You can't drink enough. You just can't.
Like this is the first year. Like I never really got into I have a shit ton of Yetis and we have a shit ton of Stanley tumblers and shit. This is the first year that I can remember in my life that I'm always using one of these. And I drink 6 of these a day, and I put a couple of liquid IVs in every time. And it keeps me alive. I told you that the liquid IVs, I didn't eat enough prior to going to play. That was that's where my big screw up was. But the liquid IVs and chugging water out on the golf course with the liquid IVs saved me. Night and day.
There's an old cliche quote from Bobby Jones, and he said, there's golf with your buddies, and then there's tournament golf. And golf with my buddies acts like tournament golf.
Yeah, we treat it a lot like tournament golf.
So, but it's just adding in the stress of playing with people you're not comfortable playing with or don't usually play with. The fact that every putt has to go in. You're playing by the rules. You got to go backwards if you hit the ball out of bounds. There's so much more mental stimulation involved and mental stress that just fatigues even more. And in 105-degree heat, we're going to have 130 people playing at Brackenridge Park. Our tee times are going to run until 2:30 in the afternoon. So it's just we can't stress enough. Prepare
bring
to be in the heat.
Freaking cooler. Bring some ice. Bring water with you.
The cooling towels work. The cooling neck gaiters really work.
Yep. Go buy a box of Liquid IV or something like that.
We're not trying to scare anybody, right? We're not trying to scare anybody, but we're trying to help you prepare for something that you're going to do anyways, right? And that's going to be play golf on the afternoon of a tour event, or recreationally, or the practice range session. Just there's no way, and it sounds so cliche. There's no way to drink enough.
Well, and it's I think especially at this point in our season, and I think everyone should know by now, like, the people who are winning, the people who are doing well, are people, one, who practice a lot and get prepared for golf tournaments, but they're also the people who come prepared to play in the heat. And they're preparing. Exactly right. That's the other piece of it is you can go practice. Like, I mean, I go practice every day. I go hit golf balls at like 3:00 and it's 1,000,000 degrees and I go hit 2 buckets. I go chip and putt. I do all my stuff. But like that's a pre-run. That's a test run for me also on how I'm staying hydrated.
Practice like you play, right?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Like, I need to see how that all works. I need to see how my body's reacting and understand how my body is taking, these different challenges from the heat, and what am I doing to counteract that during my round or prior to prep. And that's stuff that whether you play for fun or whether you play competitively, you need to be thinking of. And we can't say enough things about go be aware of that.
And MD's right. Bring a cooler with water, a cooling towel, ice packets in there to keep those waters cold. Nobody is going to tell you not to bring water.
And I mean, this stuff, it should be, at this point, you wouldn't go play golf without some golf balls in your bag. Don't come out and play golf without water or a couple of Gatorades. Like, just bring what you need. No one's going to give you any crap about it.
We are definitely taking the advice helpful angle here.
Yes.
We can't stress it enough. And it's for ambassadors and Chris Espinosa, exactly, sunscreen.
Call up.
I have I use and I love it. I love it. I wish we could affiliate market the product, the Sunbum.
I'm working on it.
MD's working on it. The Sunbum face stick. I don't have to spray anything. I don't have to rub anything in. I don't get anything greasy on my hands when I'm golfing. But it's a sunscreen stick, and I use it on my face and my ears.
We talked about the cooling towels. Scotty Williams calling out the arm sleeves. There are just regular UV sun sleeves. I gave Jason Cross a pair of the kind that you soak and that you wear, kind of like the neck ones. This is gonna sound
crazy, but I wear pants all the time. Just what I do, and I wear heat gear tights, 3/4 tights under that, and it helps me stay colder, moisture wicking, all that good stuff. But yes, absolutely. Plan it into your pre-game rotation. And I know it's just pants. It's just what I do. I'm sorry. I just got to wear pants.
Aiken's coming in sleeveless with a mini skirt and I assume a calf sleeve.
That is the demographic that Jonathan Aiken brings to the table. I love it. He also wears the fuzzy slippers with the sweatpants with the word pink across the bottom.
A lot of anime stuff too. Chris Dingman, pants, crazy. I don't normally wear pants either. Again, unaffiliated, shout out. You and I have been wearing the Fabletics stuff this season.
I've been really impressed with the Fabletics stuff. I know that sounds crazy too, but I've been really impressed with the Fabletics pants. Lightweight, super cool in the summer. Fits great. Relatively inexpensive.
I wore the pants for our round. Realistically, it's like if you get the membership and it's like $60 a month. You can get a pair of pants for $60, which is like $30 to $50 cheaper than what they normally go for.
You get one member credit a month. It's like send me.
It's great.
And listen, I have all I wear now at home is the lined shorts. Like I get home from work, I take off the work clothes, I put on the line shorts, I put on the golf pants, I put on the line shorts. I mean, that's it. And Jonathan's talking about Commando and Braveheart in the comment section. So
you're just struggling to focus.
I know. I've got it. I'm trying to be Jason Bird tonight. I've got the laptop over here with signups and Square unit and statistics. And then we've got the podcast going live. And I've got my phone here because I'm kind of trying to comment too. And I'm all over the world right now. So I'm certainly trying to fill those big shoes.
Well, this is an interesting one.
Chris Dingman filling Casey's role tonight, keeping us on script.
Yeah. If you guys aren't aware, if you guys don't follow me on Facebook, I assume everyone is following the tour page, obviously. I posted some things today. I've known about this. I started seeing this stuff a couple of weeks ago. I started bothering Ian, our Callaway rep, about it a couple of weeks ago, just kind of like being like, hey, I want to know when this stuff's coming down the line.
Stop right now. Everyone, I want everybody to watch MD closely when he's talking about this segment, because he is like a 12-year-old on Christmas morning right now. I mean, listen, this is MD's lane. New golf equipment is MD's lane, and this is
if
good
you're
one.
Newer to the tour and you haven't had the years with me, I am a tinkerer. I have my vise and my extractor in the garage. I mess around with lofts and lie angles. I play with all this stuff. I love testing out equipment. I'm a big believer in the whole idea is, I want to hit the ball further. I want to hit it more consistent.
Optimize, right? Let's get fit.
I want to optimize.
Yeah.
And I obviously, Chris Dingman, master fitter, Travis Salkowski, PGA professional. I worked in the golf industry for a bit between Dick's Sporting Goods and as an assistant at Fair Oaks. I've done a million fittings. I know how to do that stuff. It's something I do for myself typically. And so I'm usually pretty confident when I build out a set for myself. But I love testing new equipment. And the Apex stuff, the new Apex line, they just announced it It's Callaway. I'm a big Callaway guy.
And Callaway's doing it right too. They launched the marketing today, but you can't pre-sell yet.
You can't pre-sell till the 18th.
And it won't drop until next month, September 8th, I believe. Dingman, if you're watching, I think that's correct. I think the Apex line can pre-order on the 18th and launches on September 8th. But it is definitely right. Window shop to pre-order. Chris Dingman's watching. Do we have Dingman's graphic that we can put up?
I will put it up here.
Chris Dingman, master fitter with Callaway out of San Pedro driving range, partner with the tour. And we gave away a fitting last week. That went to Tim Smith. I know he was super excited about that. MD's going to take a fitting with Dingman. Dingman and I have done some crazy stuff building clubs. And look at Chris Dingman holding the pose with the full beard. You can get him at dingydoesfitting@gmail.com or through one of the Alamo City Golf Trail newsletters, or one of the South Texas Am Tour newsletters also has links in there for him as well.
I am so excited for this Apex line. I woke up this morning. I finally saw that they were actually announcing it and releasing it to the general public. I follow a lot of My Spy Golf and stuff like that. It's been slowly getting into the bags because none of the pros really are going to change irons mid-season like that. They're just going to put it out there for guys to play with or mess around with, kind of get their interest going. But some pictures of the MBs and the CBs and the Apex Pros started rolling out, and they are so cool. And the videos on YouTube, I started watching fitting videos for those today on YouTube just to learn more about the specs, learn about what the goals are behind the irons this year. I'm going to go through and do a fitting. I texted Ian first thing this morning. I'm like, hey, I want to order these the moment that they're available. He's like, 18, golden. I texted Dingman, I want to come in. I want to video. I want to document a fitting process. I'm like, here's my current irons, here's what I'm playing with, but I'm going to come in, we'll put a camera or two in. I want to film the entire fitting process. I want to show these Apex irons, because the Paradigm irons, and Chris will kind of correct me if I'm speaking out of term on it, but the Paradigm irons were really about delivering more speed, delivering more yardage. The Apex line this year is going to be a lot more. It's less about, gaining yardage, but more about the control and consistency. And that's where it's really driving this season, is the little things, the incremental growth on the really good golfers, seeing that development and change. And I mean, he said he could beat my current bag right now. It is.
Chris Dingman's certainly acting like Casey in the comment section right now. I want you to know that I didn't hear a word you said for the last 45 seconds, because I've been reading Chris in real time.
But the Apex stuff, like I said, I've posted a bunch of pictures of it. I've been talking about it and bothering Callaway people for a couple of weeks. I'm so excited. But we are going to, like I said, we're going to do a video of Chris fitting me. We're going to see and show you guys how badly he can beat up my current bag of Strixon irons.
And I think that's so cool. I think that's so cool from so many avenues. Like, MD's always improving, right? Always trying to get better, always looking for more. And dude's 6th in the point standings right now. And I just think that's so cool, and a testament to your hard work and the way you practice, and it's paying off. And let's see what 6th place in the tour point standings can gain from a fitting. I think that's so cool and such a cool perspective.
And I'm excited for us to go through that process, put that out there for you guys to all see. But it all is going to kind of kick off, or I guess lead up to, we're going to do a big demo day, get the Paradigm stuff back out in the field, get the new Apex lines out there, because they've also got the new Apex utility driving iron that looks sick.
We said that it's the Apex Pro line, and there's CBs, which is cavity back, which really isn't a cavity back in the Pro line. The UT is a little thicker, and then the MB, and then there's the Pro line in the middle, but they're all Apex Pros, right? But you can combo them all.
They, like, even on Callaway's website, and that was something that they were really talking about this year, was the preset, or the pre-built out packages of models, the lofts and stuff like that. Like, they're not going to be looking at like a Paradigm, kind of lofts like that. They're going to be a little bit more traditional compared to what they used to be, looking more like TCB irons and stuff like that. I mean, now that being said, I still typically, like, I was looking at all of the, obviously Dingman will fit me and we'll kind of mess around with all that stuff. But like, I know I'm playing 1 or 2 degrees stronger on just about every one of those irons. So like, that's something I'm going to want to see and mess around with more, and see those kinds of things too. But really, really going to be, I hope Scotty's joking, Paradigm, it's not really jacked. We call it traditional lofts because that's kind of what the traditional lofts from 10 years ago were. I agree, Scott is jacked.
I agree, Scott is jacked too. They're not jacked, like it's not screwed up or anything like that. It's just a little strong. It's just a little strong.
3 degrees stronger than again, that's why we call it traditional. But I mean, to be honest, like, Paradigm is pretty standard across the general manufacturing of player improvement irons. That is it's kind of what it is.
There's like a traditional pitching wedge is 48 degrees, but the Paradigm pitching wedge is 44.
Yeah. Like, and then the mid level, like the standard kind of thing, is like a 46 now. Like, that's the typical. And then you'll have, stuff like that. So the Paradigm versus the Apex, they are going to be very different to hit, but excited to get a demo day out there. We've had Chris come out on the show. He's done some fittings. I think he already did his fitting with Tim, who won last week our raffle.
Oh, really?
I think he did. Tim had said that he got a driver already coming, so I think he might have already gone through a fitting. But I'm excited to go through the fitting process with Dingman and document it and then share it, because I want everyone to see what that fitting process looks like. I think that's one of the things, like, we can talk about it, but to see the fitting process, to get an idea of like and to get a better understanding of numbers.
42 degrees is the Paradigm pitching wedge.
Okay.
So 6 degrees stronger than a traditional Apex Pro pitching wedge.
But like, I'm excited to go through and look at dynamic loft and go look at what launch angles are, what spin numbers look like. Go through and play with all those numbers and build out some stuff and be able to put, here's where we started, here's where we finished, and put it side by side. And this is something that, again, whether you're number one in point standings or you're 100th in point standings, there is nothing that's going to hurt you about getting fitted for equipment to some degree. It will make you hit the ball more consistently, and they're building it around your swing, which is the other piece. That's the whole thing. The fitting piece is not to go in there and make you change your swing. It is to build the set that's going to match with what you're currently doing.
46 degrees for the 2023 Apex Pro MB pitching wedge. 46 to 42. So 4 degrees.
And that's also, I think that's become slightly more standard now.
Yeah, that's the industry standard right now. That's exactly why you use the word traditional.
Unless you pull, and that's the thing, the different elevations or the different levels of equipment. Like if you look at a traditional muscle back, okay, now you're probably flirting at 48 degrees. Like everything is very
right.
You're gonna have that 20.
We're still going off of what Mizuno was doing in the early 2000s there, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're calling traditional, right?
Yeah. So, all these different things to kind of consider. I'm really excited to hit the Apex line. I'm excited to kind of show. Dude, they look so good.
That looks so
good.
Stay tuned for information on a fitting day and a demo day, where MD and I will be live on site at San Pedro with Chris Dingman and hopefully Ian, our Callaway rep. We're shooting for a date. It's not in stone yet, but we're thinking about having a adjoining skins game going on the same time at the par 3 course. So comment in the comment section if you'd play in a skins game during a demo day. I think that would be kind of fun as well. Open skins game.
I think that'd be really fun. I think that would be again, it's San Pedro, it's demo day, it's testing out new equipment, and to be honest with you, I'd go through the fitting process and I'm going to order a set. I think no matter what happens, I'm ordering a set. I'll be honest, I may not even consider changing. I have no doubt Dingman's going to fit me and it's going to be perfect. But depending on how good that fitting goes, they may work their way into my bag before the end of the season.
Yes.
I normally wouldn't consider that, but between the trust I have in Dingman to fit me and the trust I have in my game, as long as the club is built right, I should be able to transition it. I'm really excited to see that. That's going to be really cool, and it's going to be, again, just another fun thing that we kind of get to do. We spend a lot of time. I can talk about equipment all day long. Like I spend so much time on YouTube watching these reviews, watching all the testing and seeing the numbers and seeing all this. It's very, very interesting to me. But if you know me, or if you've played golf with me over the years, I love to try out new equipment. Paradigm literally was a paradigm shift in my bag.
Oh, so good. Three times in my professional golf career, and I've been a Callaway staffer for a long time. So all 3 of those items are Callaway's R&D department. And the first time, 3 times I've been blown away with equipment. 3 times. Paradigm, of course, was amazing this year. The first forged face Epic with Jailbreak.
Yeah.
And then the time I switched in my Apex irons from C-tapers to recoil 110s.
To the recoil.
Yeah. Those would be the 3 key defining equipment changes that launched, I'm not going to say launched, but allowed me to still compete accuracy and length with the time I have to play and practice.
I mean, I would say, I mean, like my biggest 3 things that I've made adjustments on have really only happened. And I mean, you're talking about this stuff. You've had years of it. I've made 3 big adjustments in the last 2 years, I'd say. 1, switching to graphite. Switching to graphite and going into the steel fibers was just I needed to do that in order to save my wrist. I could play a steel shaft
on that one. I'll take an assist.
Yeah, 100%. Like I could play a steel shaft, but by the time by this time in the season or towards playoff, if I'm not at a golf tournament, my left wrist is in a wrap at all times.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Moving away from playing a muscle back, like I love muscle backs. I'm a good striker of the ball, but just needed to just accept the fact that I just didn't need to play a full set of blades anymore.
I love the
and
Apex. I don't need Apex Pro MBs. Come on now.
Well, no. I mean, those are not. I mean, the MB. I'll be honest. Like, I really think, as I was watching it, and I'll obviously when Damon fits me, we'll see what happens. But I very much anticipate that I'm going to play the MBs in maybe pitch and 9, maybe the 8.
That's what I was thinking.
And then, like, I very well may end up doing that. I'll tinker with loft.
You know me, I love that super low ball flight.
So for me, like that's why I kind of moved away from them, just because I needed to make swing adjustments to get the ball up in the air, but I also needed to make equipment adjustments to get the ball
you're trying to hit the ball higher. I'm trying to hit the ball lower all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like now I can actually put the ball in the air. Like people watch me hit a driver or hit my irons, and they're like, holy shit, it didn't go.
There was a time, everybody watching, there was a time at San Pedro when MD's tee shot didn't get over the trees alongside number 1.
Yeah.
At San Pedro on the driving. And that's a lot. Sometimes they're like the stock driver didn't go halfway up the trees. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, the only time I had fun hitting golf balls with people at San Pedro is when they wanted to have like a stinger competition, like drivers off the deck, and just seeing how low you could hit any shot, and that was my wheelhouse. I'm like, I can do that.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You ever seen anyone hit a 9-iron 20 feet off the ground for 160 yards? I can do that. So, I mean, but the Paradigm driver was probably the biggest shakeup in my bag, and the biggest thing to happen to me in the last 2 years of my golf. Like again, historically, I was a 4-iron off the tee guy. I never really hit fairway woods that well. Between practice and just working on the swing and doing some adjustments, I was hitting my old driver well, but we switched over to the Paradigm and made a couple of corrections, just you and I sitting there and messing around with some weighting and shafts. And all of a sudden I missed one fairway this weekend.
I love the Paradigm family.
80+% of my fairways.
I love the Paradigm family. Game changer. I love the Apex line. Apex irons have been in my bag since 2016. The Apex line, one way or another. And I don't think it's ever leaving. I don't think anything can beat it. I think it's so good. Go get fit. Try it out. Stay tuned for more information on a tour partnered with Callaway demo day, fitting day at San Pedro. MD, what else do we got? Brackenridge Park registration closes tomorrow. There's a professional division open for registration. The professional division returns to Willow for the first time ever.
That'll be fun.
Love to see the pros playing from 7,000 plus at Willow. That's going to be fun. So tell your club pro, your teaching pro about it. And I know Chase White is coming off back-to-back wins in the pro division. I know he'll be there. Trevor Bailey, Jimmy Keener, Jackson Wolf. I hope that they're all there, and I hope we get a couple pairing groups and a couple bigger purses at Willow down the stretch here.
Yep. Looking forward to getting back out to Willow. And I mean, I'm gonna have to go play a practice round. Like normally, I can live with not playing a practice round everywhere. I haven't played Willow since whenever the hell we had a tournament there last.
Yeah, late summer last year. Yeah.
So I am super excited to go play a practice round out there. I'm super excited. I'll tease it now. I'm excited to go to Riverside later this year and do a walkthrough and put something together for everyone to kind of see and get a preview. I'm just looking for. This is probably one of the most fun times of the season because it becomes all about individual stroke play. We are in the race to South Texas match play. We are getting to these pinnacle points in the season, and it really, really kicks off this weekend. We're at the halfway point.
Yeah, it really is.
And this is when people. This is the next three events. I'm going to say next three events are going to be probably the biggest. Because we're going to have Brack and then two double point events between Willow and Mission Del Lago, and some big opportunities to kind of separate yourself in point standings, finishing up at Cedar and then moving into the green, going for the green jacket at Olmos, which we haven't seen in a while. So lots of good stuff coming up. Excited for this weekend, excited to get back to Brack. Let's just look at this again and just being like, oh, so friggin' pretty.
It was so cool talking to that superintendent on the phone this morning when he was sending me those pictures. He was excited to tell me how good it was.
I was about to say, it's probably the first time in a while that they've been able to send out pictures to us, and the first time that they've talked to us and been like, we're super stoked to get you guys out here.
Yes, exactly, and I couldn't be happier for him. I'm really excited to go back there. I love Brackenridge Park. For those of you that don't know, that way back in the day, that was my first. That's my first head pro job. Was at Brackenridge Park. So I love Brack. I love going there. I love the history there. I used to give my shop employees quizzes on the history. Like you had to know the history. That was part of the deal. And I love going to Brack. I love scoring on that back patio. Maybe not in August because it's hot back there.
In August.
But I love it. There's something about being at Brack, the square greens, and it's really cool that the course conditions are finally going to be up to par.
I'm looking forward to sitting there in a chair by the green on 18 and watching players come in and hitting shots. I'm looking forward to, we've been watching a bunch of different tournaments. We've had several events the last couple of weeks that have come down to scorecard playoffs, if not just a last hole. I got to make this par. I got to make this birdie to win. I'm looking forward to planning myself on 18 and watching scoreboards and watching players come in and finish. And I love that. I love that shot on 18.
I think it's so cool. I'm just excited. I'm excited for this stretch. 9 out of the next 10 tour rounds, individual stroke play. www.stxamtour.golf. Sign up now. Brackenridge Park has a few spots remaining before it sells out. Registration will close tomorrow at 5 p.m. MD distracted me with a comment there. Brack was the first place I ever played golf, and no one has guessed the year yet. Scotty Williams, I'm going to say 1973.
I was going to do that's friggin' nuts. I was thinking 73.
That's 73 is what I was thinking.
I'm going to say 77. I'll say 77 because you took 73. Comment below what year you think Scotty Williams first played at Brack. And we will see if anyone is able to get it right. We will announce that winner. You get nothing except the pride of knowing how old Scotty Williams is and knowing when he first played Brack.
If you guess it correct, you get lunch with MD. You pay.
Yeah, that seems great.
Well, MD, what
you
else
have to come to Austin. I'm not coming down. That's it. That is the Tour Power Hour. We're at 55 minutes, 39 seconds. It's
we did pretty good tonight, MD. That was good. We stayed on tangent for the most part.
For the most part. Guys, that is all we have for you tonight. Obviously, lots of golf left to be played. We have Brack this weekend. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be hot. Please be prepared. Bring water, Gatorade, bring liquid IVs, bring whatever you need. Be prepared for that. Be on the lookout, for newsletter, notice of players, all that good stuff this week. Mission del Lago is going to open up this week as well. Make sure to get signed up for that 120 player max.
Yeah, final partner event of the year at Mission, September 2nd. Going to open for registration this week. That will sell out fast.
Yep. But aside from that, that's all we got.
Great show tonight,
I'm going to go in the garage and go hit the punching bag and prep for our next fight. And, that's all.
Woo.
So,
yes, www.stxamtour.golf. There it is, scrolling across the bottom right now. Single digits left for Brackenridge Park this weekend, this Sunday. Tee times, Brack, stroke play, event 5 of the summer season. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. That is a drop dead sexy hat with a awesome signature on it. I believe that is serial number 001. Yes, it is.
That is the first official
merchandise that the tour sold. Yes.
I have like 10 of these still. I'm gonna start. These are a throwback, like retro now, and I'm freaking excited.
Circle back. We've officially gone out of style and have come back in.
Oh, these never left style. I just sweat through them so badly. I love these hats.
Good luck, everybody playing this weekend at Brackenridge Park. May the bounces go in your favor and the long putts go in. MD, Absolutely. Great show tonight. Everybody, thank you for watching. Straka confirms. Get your Straka books. 20% off Straka with your STX Am Tour promo code there. I'm addicted to them. I love them. I can't not have them in my back pocket all the time. Guys, thanks for watching. MD, kick it over to you, bud.
Guys, again, thank you so much for joining us. Lots of golf left to be played. Excited for the Apex release. I'm going to be wanting to talk a lot more about that. Excited to get with Dingman, put out some Apex content for you guys, get to demo day and get you guys hitting that stuff. All of this is going to we're all going to meet at the end of the line here, and that's going to be at the playoffs. We are getting there fast. It's hard to believe. I mean, July was here, and now it's gone. Playoffs are going to be here before we know it.
Playoffs.
So, playoffs. So, guys, go practice. Stay hydrated. Get ready for some intense golf over the next 10 weeks. And we will see you guys bright and early Sunday morning at Brackenridge. Back to Brack, baby. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe. Have a good week. And we will see you in a couple of days. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Straka confirms.
Straka confirms.